What is up, best ones worldwide? It's your boy DBTV here, back with a new video, and it's on Best One Network. Hey, welcome to the new network, guys. I'm here with Neil, my co-host.
What's up, guys?
That's right, it's been a while since we've done basketball talk, but like I said, we are going to start grinding with basketball talk a month before the premiere of Best One Network. This is one of the big series on Best One Network that I think me and him, we've been looking forward to for a while. I think you guys missed this too, because we've been flip-flopping channels, but now we're set here on Best One Network. So, if you're not Best One yet, hit that subscribe button now, turn on post notifications, because you already know the grind is real. But today, guys, we have a serious topic we're going to talk about. The Houston Rockets. And currently, they are 14th in the West. They're 9-11.
Garbage.
They're on a 4-game losing streak.
Garbage.
And they're nowhere near the playoffs right now. So now we're going to kind of break it down a little bit in our opinions. I know we don't agree. But I'm going to let you start off, Neil, with your opinion about this whole Houston Rockets team.
I think the GM needs to be fired. I think Daryl Morey needs to be fired because this is not the same team as it was last year. They lost too many players. They added a player that it makes them worse, and then releasing him at the beginning. So
Who, Carmelo?
Yeah, Carmelo Anthony was literally the reason they started off bad this year, was because of him. Because he can't play a single inch of defense compared to what they had with Trevor Ariza and Luka Mbamute.
Hold on one second. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you props on that one. Like, that is true. I actually, during the playoffs in the conference finals, when Ariza was playing, I thought that he was trash and that Houston didn't need him. But now, now I'm looking at it, Trevor Ariza was an important piece to this team with Mike D'Antoni's system. Okay, now you can keep going.
And I say, Carmelo can't play defense compared to Trevor Ariza. Trevor Ariza is a better defender. That's why their defensive rating is worse than last year. So it's like what are we doing? And now you release Carmelo Anthony, but you don't add anything. Now it's just depleted now. You don't have unless if you want to get Ariza back. I mean, he's still on a bad team. If I were the Houston, I would really want him back right now.
I don't know if they're going to get him because they are over luxury tax right now with contracts. I know they just signed Chris Paul, right?
Yeah.
They gave him, I think, a 5-year extension. I think it was a 4-year extension, if I'm not wrong. Also, they gave a fat contract to Clint Capella, which I'm disappointed in because
no, I'm trading him now.
He is not showing up. No. I can agree with you on that one, Neil. Clint Capella, I knew that they were going to overpay this man. They should have just let Phoenix sign him in the first place because it is disappointing. Houston Rockets are really disappointing, but my opinion, I think it's a fluke. Because right now they are 9-11, they are not doing well. And a lot of the reason to that is Chris Paul has been injured. That is the reason he is an all-star still. This man can still ball. Alright, and I think if he last year was in that series against the Golden State Warriors, I will say it, just like all these analysis people are saying, the Houston Rockets would have not went to Game 7, and they would have definitely beat the Warriors.
Chris Paul could have done it. He could have played through his injury. He could have played.
He could have, but
it's the playoffs.
But at the end of the day, it is not just a sport. The NBA is a business, and he was looking out for his future because, of course, you want to get paid.
He's 34.
Still balling. He's still balling, though. Chris Paul's still balling.
You actually think he's gonna ball when he's 37?
No.
Okay, then. What future is that?
LeBron, though, maybe. LeBron.
Okay,
maybe.
LeBron's the only one, but everyone else, Chris Paul's not gonna be the same.
Ray Allen was balling at 37, though.
But he wasn't at his peak.
I don't know. Chris Paul is still balling, in my opinion. I think, to be honest with you, right now, the team chemistry, that's the biggest thing that's causing them not to win. I really think, and some of their pieces they did sign in the offseason were very questionable. James Ennis, I don't think he's good at all. That is not a good replacement for Trevor Ariza, okay? I'll be the first one to say it. Michael Carter-Williams, no one was expecting him to be good because he's didn't do good. But in the preseason, he was showing promise with the Mike D'Antoni system. But right now, he is just back to disappointing us. And I'm a fan of Michael Carter-Williams since Syracuse, okay? And that disappoints me because I was actually hoping that this would be a good season for him. Someone they're not playing that deserves a lot more playing time is Marquise Chris. I don't know why this man is not getting any playing time on this team. And Zuki! Zuki deserves minutes.
No, but I gotta tell you something. Because,
Okay, what's up?
like, I'll give Houston this. The higher seed they'll probably get to is like 7 seed, not even. And they're different than last year. They're not gonna be the same team.
I know that
7
like
seed.
it's just hard.
7 seed.
And if that happens, I'm sorry, but James Harden does not deserve to be MVP. Okay, I will admit that right now because this team had a lot of expectation. They almost beat the Golden State Warriors, and they really made some huge mistakes in the offseason. I knew it from the get-go. Signing Carmelo Anthony was a dumb choice by the Houston Rockets. Did I not say that, Neil?
Yes.
Because I did say that would be their biggest mistake. And now, another thing I don't understand with this whole organization, why the hell did you not pull the fucking trigger on Jimmy Butler? 4 first-round picks you could have gave him, but instead they traded him to Philly for freaking 2 starters that aren't even all-stars.
Because they're in the East. They rather trade with teams like us.
That is true. I see where you're coming from. But still, they could have gotten 4 first rounds from the Rockets, and the way this team's looking, them picks I think could be pretty good long term because I know for a fact Jimmy Butler would have not re-signed with the Rockets. That's for a fact, and then they probably would have went downhill from there because right now they're struggling. They have a 4-game losing streak, but I don't think that I'm not going to put these guys down only because, CP3 is injured right now. Harden is he's balling, but he needs to, this whole chemistry's fucked. That's what I really think. But I think throughout the season, they'll start, evolving a little bit. And I think that they'll probably get the 4th or 5th seed.
I'll say this. The West is even harder than last year.
That's facts.
And that's what, doesn't help Houston make the playoffs even easier. They have to go at it 100% against these West teams to win. If you go 80%, that might be not enough.
And right now, guys, the Kings are balling right now, so they're in the playoff picture almost. Memphis just all of a sudden just came out of nowhere after these injuries and drafting Jaren Jackson. Then also, you have the Portland Trail Blazers, who actually got some underrated signings this year. But the question is, will they actually pass the first round in the playoffs? Denver is finally balling without Michael Porter and friggin' Isaiah Thomas, without friggin' Will Barton either. They are balling without friggin' some important friggin' pieces to their puzzle. And that's why I'm saying they're going to be a scary-ass team coming playoffs. And you got the Lakers, who right now I'm actually repping. They're probably going to make the playoffs because you got the best player in the NBA on your team right now. And questionable if he is the greatest of all time. That is a questionable debate for a later video, but Houston is going to have a long road ahead of them because if they do not get Chris Paul back by All-Star break, I can say they're not going to make the playoffs. Chris Paul really helps James Harden out there and Mike D'Antoni because Mike D'Antoni has that, system where he puts 2 playmakers out there, the 1 and the 2. And this is why it's always been a debatable, with this team. At first, when they first got the whole, James Harden, Eric Gordon, before Chris Paul came. I really thought that it was going to be... I didn't think it was going to work, but they proved me wrong.
Mike D'Antoni's not a defensive coach by any means.
And they do need
You might take the D out of D'Antoni because he has no defense, okay? It's Mike Antoni from now on.
Antoni.
Yes.
Well, you heard it from Neil.
I'm not a big fan of him as a coach.
I like Mike D'Antoni.
I feel like they could find another one. I'm just tired.
Do I want the Houston Rockets to go to the playoffs? No. I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually like seeing young teams like Sacramento rising right now.
Dallas.
I love and Dallas is balling too. I totally forgot to mention Dallas. I'm sorry. Like you guys have had Dirk for a while, and yeah, but it's crazy right now. The West, like I feel like all these like standings, just period, are shocking because you have these good teams like the Jazz that are kind of falling off right now. The Celtics. You would thought that they would had a great first record for like right now in the East. You would think they would be like second or third
I'd be
by
second,
now.
yeah.
Like it's just all crazy. But overall, I think the Rockets right now it's just a little slump. I think they really need to trust some of their pieces. I don't think Mike D'Antoni's trusting or Mike Antoni according
There
to
you go,
Neil.
Mike Antoni.
I don't think that they're trusting a lot of their pieces either. Like I think. They should, now that Chris Paul's out, if I were them, they have nothing to lose at this point. I would probably try playing Michael Carter more. I would probably play Marquise Chris. Give him a shot at least, Because I think that this man, he can ball, okay? He was picked, what, sixth? Sixth overall pick, and no, you're not letting the man play.
And I would, Chris Paul's hurt right now, I moved James Harden to point guard and then Eric Gordon shooting guard.
I absolutely agree with that one. I totally agree. PJ Tucker, he's doing all right too. He's a good piece, but he is doing a lot better last year in the playoffs. He has to show up. Clint Capella, I don't even know what the hell this man's done. I can't even pay attention. I don't even hear nothing about this man. So clearly, he is not worth his contract. He is not doing shit. I know he hasn't really played either, and they have to play him too. This team's got to find, because right now we're still kind of in the beginning of the season, but right now we're almost into December, so Houston, you really got to step it up before you lose the playoff spot. And one thing that really shocks me.
Stop playing James Ennis. Bench him. Play Gerald Green more than James Ennis, for God's sake.
And I knew something was going to be kind of scary with this team when I saw them play the Brooklyn Nets, because I watched my Nets play, and I really did not expect the Rockets to beat us by a couple points.
How did Melo do against you?
He did ball! I give the man that! The one time he balls is against the Nets. But remember, that's against Jared Dudley.
Okay.
But, by the way, last night, he was a fucking joke. Just saying. Found out he's the most useless player in Nets history.
Houston will sign him to a bigger contract from next year.
But Houston, overall, like, I think it's a fluke. I think I'll agree with you, Neil, if they start to keep doing worse, during All-Star break. By All-Star break, if they're still 14th, then I'm gonna have to really agree with you.
They could be good if they make a trade. If they don't do anything, it's over.
They really need to make a trade. So Houston, if you're watching this video,
don't stand pat.
You better make a trade now. And I think it's really time. And definitely get rid of Clint Capella and get yourself like a DeAndre Jordan or something. I don't know. That's going to help you. I think DeAndre Jordan would have been a great signing for them. They should have done that, really. That would have really helped them the defensive end. And they have decent role players, but they're not letting them try. They're not. Like Marquise Chris is the biggest one I'm talking about. Michael Carter, I can't really defend him because he hasn't really done anything in the season besides, Milwaukee and Philly, especially Philly. But I think now that Chris Paul's out, you have to really tell these role players that you guys are important to the team. There's a reason why we signed you. You need to show up now or else you're going to be overseas.
Listen, this is also the problem with Mike D'Antoni is he just doesn't use his bench. As you looked in the playoffs last year,
he used the whole bench.
In the playoffs last year, he used 3 bench players. And that's what got James Harden tired half the time because he's doing iso ball half the time because you don't use your whole roster.
And there's a reason why, guys.
On James Harden too much.
And there's a reason why, guys. The Warriors are forced to be reckoned with. Right now, yes, they have a shitty-ass bench.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm talking about 2015, when I actually was okay with the Warriors, before they became a super team. That Warriors team had a phenomenal bench, and that's why they won as a team. Yeah. Just like San Antonio. Why do you think the San Antonio Spurs have been champions 5 times? The bench.
Right.
A bench is a huge role. 2008 Celtics, they had an insane bench. the bench is a very important piece. I always tell people
The Spurs Hall of Famer Manu Ginobili came off the bench.
6-man.
Danny Green was the starter, which is crazy.
And right now, I think that's another reason, low-key, why the Nets have this 8-14 record is because they're utilizing the bench, especially the Kings. Why do you think the Kings are balling? They're using their bench.
Right.
Portland, bench.
Using their bench.
New Orleans, you could say they have a little bit of a bench they're using somewhat. But most of these teams that are good right now, their bench is what they built in the offseason and the reason why you're seeing a difference. And I think the 6-man role is really starting to become something really special right now. And I think that Houston's really gotta change something before it's too late. Wait, hold on. So now, what are your final thoughts on this?
My final thought is, Houston, the only time you would change, man, is if you just trade. If you just trade and mix your team up a little bit more, your team will get better. As the team has constructed, even when Chris Paul comes back, I don't believe that you guys will make the playoffs. But I'll be surprised if you get 7 seed. That's why I said 7 seed. Like I said, Nick Young's out there, guys. You could replace James freaking Ennis with Nick Young at small forward.
That's true, but
I would do that.
But they do need defense too. Like Tony Allen would be a good.
Tony Allen would be good. Yeah, James Ennis can't play defense.
Okay, so now my final thoughts about this is I can't erase the Rockets yet because it is only the beginning of the season. But if they stick to doing this until All-Star, then I can possibly see them being a 7th or 8th seed, and this whole franchise kind of changing everything up. And right now, I think they just have a few little cracks that they just gotta move the puzzle pieces around a little bit, scramble it up, try something different, because what you're doing right now, you have a 4-game losing streak and you're 14th right now in the frickin' Western Conference.
Listen, if you wanted, like you said, if you wanted to trade Clint Capella, Tristan Thompson's out there.
Yeah, man, I'm sure,
Yeah, Tristan to Houston. I could see that. But.
And it would help with salary cap.
Right.
But, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button, especially for more on basketball talk, which we will be having throughout the month of December, and we're going to be here probably for the next 4 or 5 months maybe, depending on how fast I get that basement done. Links down, I forgot. If you are not a Best One yet, hit that subscribe button now, turn on post notifications, especially here on Best One Network for basketball content, because you already know the grind is real. Links down in the description below. Make sure to follow Neil on Twitter, at NeilSportsMind. That'll be the first link down below. Follow me on Twitter as well. That'll be the second link. So you can make sure to check us out on Twitter, because we always talk about basketball. And to all the best ones out there worldwide, Best One Nation, we're taking over. Peace.